Keith, you had cut your camera off?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, people, good morning. We're live here on AOC Community Media. I want to thank everybody for joining us this morning. We're running some new software. You know, Keith and I are always the consummate experimentals. We always experimenting with new software to make our streams go flawless and to try some new things to get more information out to you. Good morning, brother Keith Falk.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. We want to welcome y'all to Real Talk, where we keep it real. We give it to you uncut, raw, and just the
Yeah,
way it's
uncut
supposed to
raw.
be.
And brother Keith is rejoining us again. He's been on the hyenas. As you know, brother Keith has been a longtime community activist. He's also a DJ in the community. He's been a longtime radio personality. He also been a member of AOC Community Media. Started at a very young age, a very knowledgeable young brother. And it's so great to have him in our corner. And I know Brother Wallace would attest to that, man. You started out with the Community Matters show, and I know we all branch off different places and stuff, but I know you always got something good up your sleeve, and you're always reinventing yourself, Brother Keith. Brother Keith, on Real Talk, we're going to try to, talk about some local issues and some national issues that are affecting us locally. But first, I want to say this. Please support community-based media. Support AOC community media. It's easy to become a member. It's easy to join. It is a place where you could get your thoughts out, your emotions out, and some call to action. So please support community-based media. Shout out to everybody who's working at AOC community, William, Skip, Brother Shahid, everybody in between. Now, Brother Keith, we're going to get to the meat and potatoes. What you want to do as far as introduction?
I mean, I want to thank y'all for joining for one, and tell the people just be vigilant. Look, take your time and watch what's going on. Look at the news. Look at these different platforms and watch what's going on. There's a lot of information out there to be shared. There's a lot of things going on, and I think we've got a way of being vigilant. We got away from being vigilant. We got away from making sure our people are safe in the community. We got away from it. We got a little comfortable with partying, got a little comfortable with doing what our normal routines is instead of being on all 10. I believe we got away from it. And there's a lot of things going on that we need to speak about. We need to get this information out.
You want to start right here in Lafayette?
Yeah. Brother Jay, I'm
go ahead.
gonna do a solid introduction, then I'm gonna let you kind of map it out. Because I know you've been staying on top of this issue a lot. Right here in Lafayette, the Lafayette Police Department, for one, there's a lot of video surfacing of the police department. I don't want to speak too vague too early, but of the police department violating people's civil rights, actually using force, and force that could be deadly force if bystanders or families of the victim suspect is not around, could turn into deadly force. And we have to pay attention to what's going on in our own community. We can't let these festivals, these award events, we can't let these different events take us away from what's actually going on, what's really going on. On TV 10 on KLFY last night, I seen the police department issued a statement reminding everyone about the state law of interfering with police investigation. What I want to remind everyone is that anyhow there's that state law about interfering with police investigation, you still have your First Amendment rights. You just keep it at a certain minimum. You keep it at a certain level. You don't get too close, but still protect the rights of one another. What's going on? What's really going on?
Yeah. So Brother Keith, I'm gonna introduce this video right quick and let the people decide for themselves.
And this is just the first of one,
Right. There you go.
I'm at the first of many.
And we're gonna set the this was recorded week before last, I think. I'm not too sure. Maybe people might understand the context of what happened. Go ahead.
Oh, bitch.
Give me a fucking handful.
It's for what?
Yeah, but we can't do nothing. Just chill, bro.
So we not gonna win. We not gonna win.
I'm still recording this. I don't give a fuck.
There you go, people. You saw that. That was recorded raw from off the internet. Someone uploaded it. I had a chance to blow it up a little bit on my platform on Real Talk, realtalkmedia.net. Go to realtalkmedia.net, and had a chance to send it to a couple of notables out there. Brother Keith Beauchamp, Brother Rashad Ritchie, Brother Carl Nelson, all of them who are on major platforms in the United States. And the whole point is this. We heard this so-called nut in the White House said in his first previous administration after the Tyree Nichols issue, not to be so nice when you're arresting people. And we got to think that's what is going on within the Lafayette police. I know it's probably been going on longer than that. Brother Keith, one more video, and then you could have the floor to analyze what's going on. This is a brief video that it happened, I think, sometime this week, earlier this week. Okay, there we go.
I told you, motherfucker, stop! Stop fighting the fucking jail! Now you're going to jail! Now you're going to jail! You don't make no fucking sense! Man, fuck y'all, bitches! I told you to get out my car, I told you what to do! Man, that's my child! Stop fighting the fucking jail!
Well, you know, I want to apologize to the audience out there this morning, and I should have given a disclaimer. The video is raw with a lot of curse words, a lot of profanity, but we know law enforcement does use profanity. And I understand that adrenaline is flowing when you're arresting a person because you don't know what happened. But you know what? The picture of that young baby boy viewing that situation, this also often we see the same thing over and over again. We have become desensitized on the issues with policing. Now, I'm going to let you comment on that.
Brother J, before we get into it, I want to say this. I want to say this to our audience. If you recording an incident, it's best just to get the footage. It's best not to say nothing at all, because if the situation had to escalate, and I want to bring you back to bring you back to a memory in time, Brother J. Mm-hmm. Remember the Trayford Pellerin case?
Yes.
Where the person shooting the video hollered he had a knife, and the DA office used that, or the state police used that to justify the officer's actions. So if you catching footage of wrongdoing, please try to not verbally engage in the footage, because if things escalate, they can use that to say, well, this would happen. It's justified. And then at the same time, we know it's wrong, but they got something to make it justified. Now, but in the first video, you can clearly see the individual on the ground, pinned down, can't do nothing, can't harm them, but they steady punching. The second video, you can see just before the young lady got rowdy, they need her in the side. You can see that they need her in the side. It's a lot. It's called police brutality, and it's like I said, this is just two videos out of many. It's a lot. Is a lot going on. Is a lot more to see. Gonna get it all. Is a lot of things that go unnoticed that hasn't been talked about. The ones that hasn't been talked about, the videos that we don't get, the one that's afraid to come to the media and put these things out. And I say this: don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to speak on something where your rights was violated, because it needs to be addressed. Because if it's not addressed, and day after day, officers continue to go unpunished, it's gonna just keep happening, keep escalating. It's gonna happen to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. My family gotta worry. Brother J family gotta worry. Just about everybody family gotta worry when it's gonna happen in their family. It's not. It's not. It's not something to where is happening then it's stopping. No, it's cause and effect. It's constantly. It's daily. It's daily.
And of course, Brother Keith, we want to acknowledge there's rampant situations of people, kind of, I mean, definitely a season of wilding out. People acting up, people acting crazy. Two wrongs don't make a right. That's what I always believe. The people out there are wrong. There are laws on the book to govern our behavior. There are laws to govern police interactions with ordinary people on the street. And I know it's a dangerous time, but also it's a dangerous time with that mindset that came in effect some years ago. We have many cases of police misconduct, police brutality. It gets swept under the rug. And in other words, just because people are committing murders, people are acting up, cutting up, acting wild, being disrespectful, does not give law enforcement the right to be the judge, jury, and executioner on the scene. Now, I'm saying this in relation to the present administration. Just because things are real bad, just because the administration in Washington, D.C. say, don't be so nice, rough them up. It's a new day. I got your back. Since there's lawlessness in Washington, D.C., I'm pretty sure that's transferring down on a local level where cops say, well, no, we got a green light. We could rough people up. We could violate the civil rights because we don't have a civil rights. We don't have no civil rights in this country under this administration if we had any in first place. If you look at, I think I have an image I want to put on screen. Is concerning the state of Louisiana. And let's see, why is Trump, let me take this graphic down over your face, okay. Why is Trump jailing student activists in Louisiana where thousands of immigrants are detained in private prison? Now, you know where they're going with this, Brother Keith. They want to make Louisiana already the prison capital of the world. Louisiana already last in every conceivable statistic.
Every way possible.
Everything.
Every way possible.
So now they want to just solidify that title by making it the prison capital of the world, where we're going to have concentration camps set up in Louisiana. Now, on yesterday, we had, let's see. I'm going to bring this one up too. We had this situation right here. We had a town hall meeting with brother Congressman Cleo Fields, right? He had a town hall meeting.
Correct.
Now, anybody want to call in and tell us what the town hall meeting? I think Brother Wiles might call in and tell us. The whole issue is this. We could have these town hall meetings and engage in niceties, but it's a new day. These people in Washington, D.C. are cutting off every fix for if we want to counteract some things. They're putting people in place to do away with laws, to do away with protections. My thing, if Cleo wanted to really make an impact on the citizens who sees him as their congressman, which a lot of people probably attended were in that 3rd congressional district, Brother Keith, and we have a congressman by the name of Clayford Higgins, if you want to use that old Southern connotation to his name, he won't hold no town hall meeting for people like you and me who are in this district. But what Cleo and others, the brother congressman from New Orleans, could have done is start having rallies where people, even people outside his district who support him, can say, look, enough is enough. We're not accepting the lawlessness of the administration and the Jeff Landry who's co-signing to that administration in Washington, D.C. Cleo, what they should have done and the so-called Louisiana Black Caucus, caucus, whatever they call themselves, the Do Nothing Bunch, they should have been rallying the people to support them. They are the biggest creators of voter apathy because they do nothing, but they show up for cameras, light, and carpet, and really don't talk about anything that's affecting the people, the cuts that might be coming down or not coming down. They should have been rallying the people, say, listen, Cleo should have said, listen, we won't settle for no concentration camps to be set up in the state of Louisiana, right there in Gina, right there in Basile, where they're engaging in what you call extreme rendition, kidnapping people off the street because they don't agree with their politics and taking them to some camp in Louisiana. This got to stop, man. So Cleo, I mean, that town hall meeting, that's okay, but we need to rally the people. That's my whole comment on that whole take, Keith. You know, I ran over with you on that.
And I want to say this about this town hall meeting, Brother Jay. I'm not knocking the congressional representative. I mean, it's good that he's giving a town hall meeting, giving information, but can we get Clay Higgins? Can we get Senator Cassidy to give a town hall meeting? Because he may no longer in June, he may no longer be making decisions for us.
You talking about Cassidy?
Cleo Fields.
Yeah, that's true.
He may no longer be making decisions.
Well, influenced because he's not in much of the 3rd Congressional District that covers Lafayette and New Iberia and Lake Charles. But people look to him as hope because he got in the office, and it might be some type of sea change. You're right, brother.
Because the Supreme Court is the Louisiana State Supreme Court is signaling that that congressional district is unconstitutional. We got some information on that, saying that congressional district may be unconstitutional. So he might not be making decisions for us. But if we can get him, Clay Higgins, and our senator in the town hall meeting, that would be great. That'd be awesome, Brother Jay. But I want to go back to Lafayette. Right quick. An administration where she was the likely candidate for the community that's being targeted, or the background that's being targeted. I mean, where is she on these issues with the police department? Because it's been happening. It's never just been happening this week, this month. It's been happening throughout her whole first year in office. What's her statement? Why hasn't she issued a statement yet on what's going on with the police department? Brother Jay, we've been talking about this being an issue here in Lafayette because we've been outlining plans for a citizens review board over the police department with subpoena power to get things done since the Trayford Pellerin case. And I keep going back to that because it's unique. It's a unique incident. Maybe that's what we need here in Lafayette, a citizens review board. But nationally, we got a president
Brother Keith, before we go back into it, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think we have a call on the line. Go ahead, caller.
Yes, good morning, Brother Jay. Good morning, Keith. Good to see
Brother
you.
Keith, can you hear Brother Wallace?
I can hear.
Okay, great to have you on, Brother Keith.
Okay.
I mean, Brother Wallace.
Great to have you on, Brother Keith, and to all the listeners. I want to stay on the subject. I know y'all talk about Cleo Field meeting last night too. I did attend that.
Right. Well, tell us,
Okay.
tell us, you were there. You were there, and I like to thank you, Brother Wallace, because we've been on your platform and we talked about town hall meetings till it was blue in the face, and we talked about it on the other platform. So I you don't mind if I take a little bit credit? Maybe somebody heard it down the street and told him. Go ahead, brother.
Well, you know, Brother Jay, that's one thing I could say about you. You're always bringing to the airwave the things that we need to know and how we need to know it and why we need to know it.
Mhm.
You know, but let's talk about the police brutality and things like this.
Right.
We're gonna go back to Chief Glover. You know, when Chief Glover was the chief here in Lafayette, he was one of the best chiefs that we ever had while we had a chief of police. And the thing of it is, they got rid of him because he wouldn't betray the badge. He wouldn't go against what a chief's supposed to be. We got a police union, you know, we got a police separate policing that have meetings, you know, to make sure that things like what they're doing right now happen to us as black people. You don't never see them beat up white folks like this, you know, anything. You know, so all these things here that's happening is happening because we have a chief that just got the name of being a chief. We got a mayor president that's she gonna be a mayor president for not all of the people, but for some of the people, you know. Okay, now the meeting last night with Clearfield, it was a meeting that I felt, you know, that I brought some questions up, and one of the questions I brought up was about the Social Security and those that's getting Social Security on the slave that was working on the slave wages.
Right.
You know, 75 cents an hour, $1 an hour, $1.25 an hour. They wasn't paying big money into Social Security, and that's how Social Security worked. It worked for when you first got started paying Social Security, not while you was paying Social Security. Those that started making good money in the 70s and the 80s, they getting decent Social Security. But those that fell up under the slave wages, they're not getting Social Security. And I know a lot of people, especially white people, are getting at least $1,200 a month Social Security, where black folks is not getting but maybe $700, $800 a month Social Security, and they've been working all their life, you know.
Right.
I brought up that at the meeting. I also brought up the hospital that is so dearly needed with emergency access on the north side. It went to a statement, you know, and somebody cracked a joke. I think it was A.B. Rubin about a hospital on the north side of town, you know, and it seemed like everybody wants to say it's not going to happen, you know. Why is not going to happen when you have all these apartment building subdivisions coming up? Like I told them, when you down 911 in an emergency, a person is having a heart attack or some real strong illness, well, the ambulance got to get to you. Once it gets to you, they work on you the best they can. Then they got to roll to the south side to get you to a hospital. So why not a hospital on the north side of town, you know? And that was the question, you know, that I had. You know, they had quite a few people at the town hall meeting.
Okay.
You know, I commended Cleo for having a lot of youngsters on his administration from Lafayette, you know. And matter of fact, just about everybody in his administration is from Lafayette, Lafayette North, and surroundings, you know. So I liked that what he was doing. I didn't stay for the whole meeting,
Right.
but the part that I stayed for, it was very interesting. You know, we didn't have a whole lot of elected official from here, you know, that was there,
Right.
that should have been there, you know, and he did a fairly decent job answering the questions that the people was asking, and a lot of people was trying to see where they 501c3 would be standing with the Trump administration.
Mm-hmm.
He did talk, made some statement about Trump, you know, and things like this here, that if a Republican was in the room, they might have not been favorable to him making those statements, but he did, you know.
Right.
So it was a decent meeting.
Uh-huh.
As far as I'm concerned, it could have been better. And I figure it's been better if our mayor president was there to be with the congressman.
Yeah.
If her administration would have been there, if a lot of the parish people would have been there to, you know, represent him.
Right.
And they just had one parish guy, and he's the chair of the council, you
Right.
know. I didn't see none of the city council being there unless they came after I left. But I left, it was about 7 o'clock.
Well, apparently, Brother Wallace, some of the city council members don't have no concern about what going to be the effects of this administration trickle down effect in Louisiana into the city of Lafayette. And apparently the mayor president, and I know I don't mean to stop you, I'm gonna let you go. The mayor president, her alliance with the black community to carry her over the finish line probably should have been it should have been, let's say, she should have been thanking the community, for the black community, for carrying her over the line in that last election, and especially the alliances with the person she got in charge of the what they call that, a community relations title.
Yeah, the community.
Part of the Democratic apparatus that supported Cleo Fields. So I see the disconnect. But apparently, if Donald Trump shows up in Lafayette, you're going to probably see everybody, even a couple of so-called black politicians, show up at his rally. You know, I'm just being hypothetical again. I'm
Brother
trying
Wallace,
to get out to the logical world.
Brother Wallace, why we in Lafayette? Brother Wallace, why we in Lafayette? How long has the fight been? Because I know it started way before me. How long have the fight been to get a citizen review board over the police department here?
Ooh, Brother Keith, I've been at this over 20 years, and it's been going on way around that time. You know, we had Kraft in office, we had some others in office. I can't remember all their names, you know, but when it comes down to the black community, what they was doing, they was putting a black and a white officer together, you know, and when you had a newly hired black officer, the white officer would stand back and see how the black officer would treat his kind, you know, and if he roughed him up or put him on the charge maybe that he didn't really commit it, they would go back and report, or he could be one of us, you know, and this is how all of this been going, you know. So I've been in the fight, in the struggle since 96, 97 for sure, you know, and I done seen a lot of things. I done seen a lot of things with our black elected official, our white elected official, you know, the people and how they react to things. And a lot of it, you know, like brother call it voter apathy, you know, and voter apathy is what's really hurting the voters to get out and vote. Now, it wasn't a whole lot of money involved in these amendments that just failed for Jeff Landry. The people took it upon themselves, you know, and went out and voted against those amendments because they knew it wasn't right for them. Money wasn't involved in those amendments. So they didn't push the amendment, you know, for you to go out and vote yeah, or for you to go out and vote no. Like I said, and Brother Jay, you always talk about voter apathy. You see, they a lot of the what you call get out the vote people.
Right.
They was talking about it, but they didn't really stand up for it like they should have. You know, like if somebody was running for that seat, for a seat, then they would all been out with their sign, vote for this one, vote for that one. And a lot of times, the people that you push to get in office is not the people that belong in office, but they have the money to sell the people or to buy the people to get out there and vote for them.
Yes.
You know?
And I'm glad you brought that up, Mr. Wallace, because our governor is just running crazy right now. He's pushing to do a lot of things. I was listening to the opening of the Louisiana House their budget opening, and I was listening to him say a lot of things, and a lot of things he's saying are we know the derogatory. It's plans that we know he want to push the MAGA agenda, and it's interesting that you say that. You know, it's a lot of things that we have to pay attention. And the thing is to get the people to pay attention to what's going on, follow the meetings. If you don't have to go physically, it's televised. Follow the meetings. Pay attention to the news, pay attention to what's going on, pay attention especially to these platforms, because you get a lot of information that the big mega news stations not gonna give you. You get a lot of information on these platforms. Community Matters, the show on Wednesdays, the Open Line, Real Talk. Our people need to pay attention and be vigilant, because it's a lot of things that's coming through. And these mostly in these areas: Texas, Florida, Alabama, Mississippi, the Gulf Coast, all the Gulf Coast, because these states are the deep down mega states, the deep down racist states, and I'm gonna say it like that: the deep down racist states. And some of them are open. You know, some cities, some towns are openly racist, but then you have these cities and towns that got different things that say it's a family fun event for everybody to cover it up. Your Festival Internationals,
You know, Brother Keith, I look at it like this here. The opening of the meeting, the special session or the session meeting, you know, I didn't see nobody look like me, you know, where the cameras took over. I hope I could see somebody that looked like me, that we voted to get in office, that gonna speak up for the things that's unjust going against us. Because right now, Black history is trying to be erased, you know, and it's starting in Washington, D.C., and it's trickling down to Louisiana, and baby Trump, Jeff Landry is wanting to do the same thing. They want to take the Black history out of libraries, out of the schools. You know, they're trying to erase it in our head. And what part of that we don't understand? Black history, we call it Black history, but it's history that need to be told. The things that whites did to blacks, you know, from the slave ships to the United States, what's going on with us as a culture of people. You know, like I said many a time, on my birth certificate, they got me as colored. You know, some people got Negroes on their birth certificate. Some people have blacks on their birth certificate. You know, and they're trying to take all of that away from us to where we don't have the, how I want to say that, we don't have the knowledge, especially these youngsters, having the knowledge on what happened. You know, because you tell a lot of youngsters what happened to their ancestors or to their great-grandmother or their great-grandfather, they're not believing that because they haven't came up in that era.
And Brother Wallace, and you're so exactly right. I'm glad you brought that up because, you know, you actually helping me cue in my graphics. I got the headline from the Louisiana Illuminator, a great source of good, progressive, and truthful information. Go to LouisianaIlluminator.com and get your source, your accurate source. But look, the headline reads, the University of Louisiana at Lafayette shutters the DEI office, meaning closing it down, putting it down, you know, and when they say DEI can mean many things to many people. It could say it's for the gay agenda, or it's for the transgender, or you see, they want us to fight among those wordsmiths. But the main target out of that, all these words they try to pack into what DEI is blackness. Anti-wokeness is, to me, is anti-blackness. They want to get rid of historical contributions blacks have, or programs that help black folks who are being passed over. So when you're saying white men are making laws to tell black folks we all are equal, we all the same people, so we're gonna hire and put people in place, or support people in place, or give funding to people in place based on merit. When did merit ever count for something down through history when it comes to black versus white?
Brother J, let me add something. DEI, and that's what our people really need to know what it is. DEI, it is for the handicapped, the disabled, the African American people of a different descent, different color, black folks. It has nothing. It has nothing to do with just transgender. It's not just about a person's sex or none of that. It's really to tackle civil rights. It's really to take down civil rights. That's why they're doing away with DEI. Right. The laws that say you're still the laws that was put in place to make blacks and whites equal, to where the whites are not putting in policies in place to where you white, you get the management position.
Well, and they're saying it's giving favoritism. It's giving favoritism to cultural. It making putting one culture up over another culture. Hasn't that been going on in this area for a long time? It's called Cajun Acadiana, people. Cajun Acadiana is another DEI word, but you see, it don't apply to them, you know, since they make the laws. That's what we got to understand when we push back on them. If you want to do it with DEI, you need to do away, take Cajun off of the Cajun dome, take Cajun out of everything, stop taking blackness and turning it into Creole, then you turn it into Cajun. They've been doing DEI for the longest down here, and I'm pretty sure Brother Takuna, if he was alive, would just say the same thing. Go ahead, my brother Wallace.
Brother Jay, DEI, you know, it it's not just for black folks. It's for white women
Right.
also.
Right.
The white women gained more from DEI than blacks did.
Yes.
You know, at one time, a white woman couldn't vote. A white woman didn't have a voice in their culture. You know, and what they're doing right now is trying to make it seem like it's all about us, but it's not all about
Right.
us. You know, I've been under DEI. You know, when it was a different name, they call it a different name back
Right.
in my time. You know, and all these things is doing is saying, you know, we gonna take whatever y'all got away from y'all. You know, they burned Tulsa, Oklahoma. Another place in Boston. We got phones now. We got a whole bunch of legal information that we have that we never had when we was coming up. When we was coming up in school, they gave us hand-me-down books, the raggedest books that you could find. And if you got a good-looking book, it was thrown in there, you know, to say, you know, we giving y'all something good too. But all our history books, when we was coming up in school, wasn't our history, it was their history
Right.
and their stories.
Correct.
And a lot of us went to their schools where their education, you know, a lot of us went to black schools that taught black teachers what to teach us. Let's go to the ministry. A lot of those guys went to a ministerial school. You know, they taught them what they wanted them to preach to us. And we went along with it. You know, this is why I'm so glad I learned who my God was and how God is invested in me. You know, and I know he loves me, and everybody else needs to learn that too. You know, Key, I'm still waiting on that book too, bro. But that, you know, we got that going. You know, no problem. But Keith, you know, I commend you for being a young man. You know, that stand up, do researches, you know, into what is going on around you, going on around in the country, in the state, other people's state. And not too many people are young men that's going to do what you're doing, you know.
Sure.
Know that white supremacists is out there, knowing what white supremacists could do. And this is what I appreciate about you. You being a young man and you trying to bring it to the younger generation. Open up the younger generation out, my brother.
Oh, yes.
And again, Brother Waters, your show comes on Friday. I don't think, as a side note, AOC Community Media will be closed for the holiday season this weekend. And so, Brother Waters, I think you have a replay coming on, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be a replay. I don't know which replay. I don't request which replay to come on or anything like this here. But William and Skip been doing a real good job for us.
Right.
Putting the reruns on.
Right. Yeah, we certainly appreciate community-based media. And like I said in the opening, we got to support, because we don't know how long we have, Brother Wallace. And as we close, as I don't know if you can stay on the line, but let me tell you about this. This is how wicked these people are, and the people that co-sign, uphold these fools from Lafayette to Washington, D.C. Trump administration, the FTC chairman, Brandon Carr, who's one of the architects of Project 2025, right? We know these people had a game plan coming in. It wasn't going to be like the last crazy administration. It could be much more crazier with purpose this time. They announced that they will be trying to seek an investigation to shut down CBS News, 60 Minutes, and CBS Company.
Yes.
Because they criticized Trump in a peace this past Sunday of his handling of the war in the Ukraine. Now the point is this: if they could pull that off, which I doubt it, they could do it to people like you and I on AOC if they decide, because I guess we small fries and we would have to step on somebody's feet hard. Maybe if we keep calling Clay Higgins' name on this show, maybe they might take me off the air. But the thing is this.
So what you saying,
the thing is this, Wallace. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Listen, what you saying is they trying to take our freedom
Of speech,
away.
yes.
And if they take our freedom of speech away, where do we go from here? Can somebody explain
into the
that?
gulag, meaning the prison, the concentration camps in Gina,
Let me
and,
say this, Brother
and
Jay.
all points in between where they would love to put us, because they're building all types of jails in the state of Louisiana. I'm a little, the sky is falling. It's the truth, though.
Let me add this. If they take away, if they can get rid of the First Amendment, guess what?
Coming up,
All the rest is coming.
Christ coming up, and I look more at the resurrection of Christ than Easter or bunny rabbit bringing me an egg.
Yeah.
And then I want to see this. Where is that organization that where's those leaders that stood up in Brown Park and criticized
Nowhere to be found.
previous administration, criticized about 10. Where's that? Where's those leaders to address what's going on in the police department? Where's those leaders? Where's those leaders to come out and address what's going on in Washington? You know, let the people know. At least let the people know what's coming. At least let the people know what is the legislative agenda from here,
Right.
from the state. Because Louisiana, you don't know. You got people that don't know what's going on. They don't know, and it's not an elected official that came out and said, "Look, in Louisiana, we going here from here." Not a representative, not a senator. You know, they got people that work for the school system that don't know where certain things are going towards the school system with the cuts that they talking about towards to the education department. So it's a lot. It's a lot to process. It's a lot to unpack. And I know we can't do it all in one show, Brother Jay, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try to get out as much information as we can. So if any official is out there listening, please call in, give us some insight.
You asking the hard question, Brother Keith. You asking the hard question because they're not going to do that. You know, this is why I could have ran for office when Newsom had became sheriff. You know, he wanted to help me get in an official position. I didn't want that because I didn't want to be led and controlled by no one other than my God. You know what I mean? And somebody might say, "Oh, they're always talking about God." Well, I got a God, you know. Everybody got a God, but my God is special to me, you know. And this is the way I feel, you know. We don't have leaders, bro. We got people that warm the seat. It's like a bench warmer. They warm the seat. They sit there. They barely open their mouth. Some of them, you know, get in there for prestige. You know, they're not going to lose what they have because if they speak up, they might lose.
We lost something, Brother J.
I say leaders, I'm gonna say elected officials. They get in office, and when they get in office, all they doing is bench warming.
Yeah. We seem to lost Brother Keith. If you could hear Brother Keith chime back in, turn your camera on. Yeah, I stepped out. We have technical problems we get different places, not just to AOC community media. We all over the place. And again, please support AOC community media. Support the 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock. Shout out to Brother Oscar Narcisse. Shout out to all the shows. Brother Mr. Kevin, he comes on Thursdays at 5:30. We have Brother Darren Muhammad. We don't know if we got to have a live show this coming Easter Sunday, but we certainly going to work hard to get us a live show, if not a replay. Digital Soul Showcase, some new music videos coming at you this Sunday on AOC Community Media at 4 p.m. this Easter Sunday. Also, check out the Open Line Radio Show tomorrow. We'll be live, and hopefully we have a slight different programming, what we call a holiday message. Hopefully we have our guest, Ms. Deanie, on. If not, we'll go back to our regular controversial rounds that we always have. But again, these shows, Real Talk, which are every first and third Tuesday of the month for 2 hours from 9:30 to 11:30, and all inspired by the great people like Sister Khadijah, Brother Wallace, and Brother Keith.
Hey, Brother Jay,
Brother Jay.
Yes, sir.
It's not controversial. It's not controversial. It's history, that we're trying to bring to the community. Controversial means, you fighting for something, and yeah, we might be fighting for our to keep our civil rights, to keep our right to be black men, in our society. But man, sometimes, it's just like all those blacks for Trump. All those that's black for Trump, I don't want to be black no more.
Yeah. Well, I got one more graphic I'm going to show up, and Brother Keith, I hope you don't mind. We talked about that. I have a different take.
Before we go to the next subject, Brother Jay, what I want to do is
you want to come back to it, or you want to go to this one?
Yeah, we're going to come back to it.
Our young, you say you want to do this one?
Yeah, we can do this one. Yeah.
Our young people, Brother Wiles, the graphics are on screen. My thing is this. We got to make them understand that a lot of the senseless violence, we had a 14-year-old killed in New Iberia, a promising young man, a great basketball star in junior high. And we don't know the whole story behind the story. But 14-year-old is too young, Brother Keith, to get shot down in the prime of your life. That's a baby in a sense. And we know our young people doing some wild and out things. But whose fault is it?
But
we got to start somewhere. My thing is, remind our young people, Brother Wallace, we can't let them go out there and not understand the real world. Your enemy is not who you think it is. Somebody who's your op, rolling around in a nicer vehicle or rolling around and got bling. Your ops are the system that's trying to hurt your mother and your dad and your father legacy. The system is your enemy. So take that energy with you use at the end of a barrel of a gun and apply that in thinking and educating yourself and saying, I'm going to help lift my community out of the dust of what these people are trying to put us in the mud in a bad kind of way. And stop doing the work of the KKK. The KKK is actually in Donald Trump's mindset. The mindset is bragging that we don't have to do a damn thing no more. We don't even have to put our hoods on or do nothing. We just let them get hold of a gun and do the work. So I'm saying that's some factual evidence. This is not no made up story to to get people motivated. This is some real evidence behind this thing. This system of white supremacy in the state of Louisiana, Brother Wallace, the amount of guns flowing in and out of Louisiana for a small state, make sense. So I'm gonna let you guys take the floor on that.
We could go on and on and on and on and all day.
Bullet come out that gun.
Go ahead, let him.
You can't get it back, you know. And once you can't get it back, look what they're doing now. They're putting millions of dollar bail on a person that used a gun. You don't have to even kill nobody. You know, if you do a drive-by shooting, you don't only hurt. You're trying to hurt somebody when you do a drive-by shooting. You're hurting somebody when you pull the gun. But look at all the people that you hurt, you bring along with you. Your family, the one that's pulling the trigger, your family is involved. The other family, if the bullet hit that other person, all that you bringing there with you. You know, you are disturbing two families, yours and the person you did the shooting on. You know, when you do a drive-by shooting, you know, look at that little kid that got hit in the bed while he was asleep.
Right.
You know, in a drive-by shooting, man. All of these things hurt the a whole community. You disrupt a whole community. And like you say all the time, Brother Jay, they're building new jails, you know. They're building new jails, and those new jails is not going to be comfortable to you, you know. Because
let me add this, Brother Wallace. Let me say this before we get a little further. Let's go back to the beginning. Where it starts we training them. You're training them at 3 and 4 to do this. Because every time you buy a Grand Theft Auto video game, you training them for that. You training them. It's in the videos, it's in the TV shows, it's in the music. Every time you buy GTA, you training your child on how to commit these acts. You drilling them. You training them. Okay, Brother Wallace, you can finish. I just wanted to put that out.
Yeah, 2 hours, brother.
This must be the 5-minute break they doing right now.
Okay, we gonna straighten that out. Go ahead, you guys go ahead. Go ahead, Brother Keith.
Yeah, I was saying that every time you buy a GTA game, Grand Theft Auto, you training, oh, we got some feedback. It used to be 6, 7. Now it's at 2 and 3. They're learning how to play those video games. And every time you buy GTA, you programming that child's mind on how to commit those acts. Okay, Brother Wallace. And the state is just steady creating laws to put you in the prison system, because they're allowing you to they're allowing you to conceal carry. Without a permit. You can carry, conceal without a permit, but you're a convicted felon, we got you. You're felon in possession of a firearm. You know is not legal, we got you. You got a stolen firearm. You got an illegal firearm. So what we have to do is train, sit down and train our kids about what's going on, teaching them about the laws that's coming out, teaching them about what their consequences are. And we're having some more technical difficulties. And let me see, anybody want to call in, comment? The numbers at the bottom of the screen. You can call in there. You can call in at the number at the bottom of the screen. Anybody want to call in?
Hello, Brother Keith.
Yeah, I'm still here, brother.
We could send resend the stream. Might be a technical glitch.
Yeah, that's what I see. We was having technical difficulties.
Let's see. Let me see. Yeah, it's on. It's streaming. AOC.
Okay, brother Wallace. You want to continue what you were saying?
Because you
At the age, what it is, the age limit, not at the age of 15, you could be charged as an adult.
Correct. And what you were saying about the amendment, if that amendment would have passed, it would have dropped the age to 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to reintroduce that law in a different fashion in the next available
Yeah, well,
Brother Keith, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I know Brother Wallace was making a statement.
well, that's what somebody else told me. They're gonna come back out with those amendments, but they're gonna come back out with those numbers where they could really trick you into voting for them, you know. But the thing of it is, I can't vote for a member that's gonna hurt me or my people, you know.
I want to say this, people. We're back on live. Thank God for the good technical people at the LC Community Media with these things, these new softwares that's coming out now, which is I think it's getting a little bit better to establish. You know, you will have those glitches, but we want the people at home to know if somebody who still got us on, let us know. Let them know we still back on. We're back on television, and it's essential that we keep running these programs and thinking of new ways, Brother Wallace, to make it more convenient for people to listen and look. Yeah. Also,
and if anybody want to call in, y'all can call in at the number at the bottom of the screen, 337-272-8849. If you want to call in, be a part of the conversation. If we even opening the floor, to all elected officials,
Stop that, brother Keith. Stop that, brother Keith. They not calling in. You know, I appreciate you, man, trying to invite them, but they don't know how to accept that kind of invitation, bro. You know,
because we need answers. We need to know where
let me ask both of you guys. Have y'all heard that the state of Louisiana is starting to? They want to do much of the Trump administration, and there's some articles about this whole thing, whether or not they want to promote healthy eating in the state of Louisiana so they can start with food stamps. Well, here's how asinine this thing is in this state, right? We love our food culture, Brother Wallace. You know, I tell you all the time, the fried chicken look good, smells good, tastes good, goes down good, but guess what? It might cause you blocked arteries, hypertension, stroke, kidney failure, and so forth. Right? Even though our ancestors been eating this for years, the thing is we want to be more healthier in the state that's already suffered from number one. But here's how asinine it is. They want to limit what you could buy with food assistance, food stamps, and say and they use that excuse of we don't want you buying soda because we want you to eat healthy. But yet, the lieutenant governor goes out promoting eating the crawfish all salted down with spices and eating a bunch of potatoes and corn and all that. Well, you know, me and Keith party till the end of the day. Keith eat till the end of the day. Me and Keith party. But guess what? We know when to say when. The problem with this, with the secretary, with the state of Louisiana is doing, is just to punish poor people, to take their food assistance away. It's not for eating healthy, because if you want to eat healthy, you wouldn't have no goddamn Boudin festival.
Brother Jay, Brother Wallace.
Heart attack food. You
Brother
wouldn't have none of that stuff that you feed in the state of Louisiana and get tourists to come and eat.
Brother Jay and Brother Wallace, let me add this in there. Let me add this. Every time the GOP or the mega puts out an agenda about it's for this, it's for that, it's for something opposite. I don't think it is about no health, eating healthy habits. It's about seeing how far they can go. That's what they do.
There you go.
Seeing how far they can go, and if they go that far with no problems, they're going further. They're going to touch on something else that's essential.
Brother Wallace, you still there?
Yeah, Brother Jay, I don't have no problem with eating healthy. You know, I really don't. You know, because there's a lot of things that I don't do. I can't say because I don't do it, I don't want nobody else to do it. You know, everybody have a choice, and what their choices are may not be mine. What my choices is may not be theirs. So, but when it comes to eating healthy, I try to do it. You know, I don't do it every day, but I try to practice it out of a day. You know, eating the fruit. You know, I like cookies. You know, I don't like sodas because I don't like sodas. That don't mean nobody else have to quit drinking sodas. And when I drink sodas, I drink a Sprite. You know, other people drink whatever they want. You see, but why should I deny somebody what they like or what they want because I don't do it? You know, that's just like a lot of things I don't do. I don't criticize nobody else because they do it. That's their choice, you know. Mm-hmm. But don't force your choice on me. And that's what they're doing. Well, they're forcing their choice on the people that they're supposed to be helping.
Do you think is some what we call Karen type in the store, got a sister with a big old basket of all types of potato chip soda and cereal, got two baskets, and maybe that Karen, and we know what the code word for Karen, the ones that want to call the law on you, the ones who want to report you, the one who think you as a black person shouldn't be existing in their space. Maybe that Karen is mad enough. She called down there to the Trump administration or Governor Landry, say we need to take them off a food stamp because they're holding up the line. Or is it that the state really genuine and say we gonna promote healthy eating? Well, if the state was interested in promoting healthy eating, Brother Wallace and Brother Keith, they would have an agenda that would support stop eating all of these so-called delicacies in the state of Louisiana that can cause hypertension, high blood pressure, put you on a pad to the kidney dialysis place, and so forth. Louisiana has the worst health outcome because of the lifestyle and the eating we want. So you won't see Jeff Landry promoting healthy eating out of the state. You'll see him tapping down on the food stamp because Karen is complaining that you're holding up the line with 4 baskets because you got all them food stamps. That's what it's about, man. I mean, let's be logical.
Correct.
Let's put it like this here. Let's say if a woman got 5 kids,
right?
You know, she got to fill each one of those kids' appetite. Why try to make them all eat the same thing when they got different taste buds?
Right.
You know, like all of this here is controlling. They want to control what we do, what we eat, where we go, how we see things. If they could put blinders on us, that's what they would do.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
because that's what you call control. You know, and when you control something, you have it real good. Jim Jones had a whole flock of people that he controlled.
Wow.
You know, and look all the people that he took away.
Well, Keith,
You know, some people.
Keith, I'm glad he said that, because guess what? We have a Jim Jones in D.C.
Yeah.
And we got MAGA Mike Johnson, who's one of the person administering the Kool-Aid.
Correct.
Yeah. You know, go on, Brother Keith.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We got a whole lot. And then, Brother Jay, I want while we on the national level talking about it, I want to go back to this. You remember when Trump first implemented that he was coming in with Border Patrol, his immigration plan,
Right.
and we was telling people it's not just about the Latinos. It's
Right.
It's about the foreigners, really. I don't want to sound like a racist. It's not really about the foreigners. It's not really just about the foreigners. He's going far as the U.S. citizens. Now, the president in El Salvador, he's talking about sending true American citizens
Right.
to that prison. So that lets you know that what we were saying was accurate information. You know, his plan is to go further than just immigrants. Really,
Brother Keith, they got prison here like that. They got prison in California, Texas, you know, Georgia, Florida. They have notorious prison here, man. It's not just
Angola.
El Salvador. Yeah, Angola. Those are notorious prisons, bro. You know, I don't care what nobody say, how they say it, you know, but they have that here in the United States.
Yeah.
And what Trump is trying to do is say that they got harder rules in El Salvador than they have here. That's bull crap, you know.
Correct. That's what he's saying. He's saying that he'll.
I want to ask y'all both this, and we probably being viewed as people who just have talk shows that criticize the system instead of not doing anything, you know, because I get a lot of that kind of feedback. What y'all doing about it? Well, having a free and open platform to talk about the problems is doing something at the forefront. And I like to go deep down into what logic is, you know, like the sun could come up in the morning, sun could set in the evening, you know, it could rain, it might rain, or the sun could come out, you know. If you are part of a movement and Donald Trump and administration, whether even going back before that, the mindset of these people, they're only as strong as the people that uphold them. If you got 70% of so-called Acadiana spelled with 3 Ks, we might get cut off the air again. If they voted for Donald Trump, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they upholding the system that's even though the system is doing all types of stuff, firing people from jobs, dismantling the Department of Education, laying people off, poised to cut Social Security, poised to cut Medicaid, Medicare. But yet you have people here in Lafayette who go on and live their life. You upholding that system. Let's say, going back to the earlier point of Mayor Blanco, right? She is being upheld by her party. Her party is the Republican Party. The Republican Party on a national is upholding Jeff Landry. Jeff Landry is upholding Trump. So you got to link that to the people that uphold these people in power who's making your life miserable. It's just like when we say a bad cop does something real bad and you got cops all around them and we call them some good cops, and the good cops know the bad cops are doing something wrong. They're just as guilty, right? Right?
And Brother Jay, I want to
as the bad cop. So if Mayor Blanco, who black folks helped put in office in the Lafayette area, if her party is doing the wrong things to the people from on the state and national level, well, why are we upholding her? Why we can't call her out? Are you going to denounce your party people? Are you going to announce Jeff Landry? Are you going to announce Liz Morrell, who's making all these asinine laws and pushing all these crazy stuff? You're not going to do that, Blanco and others who support him. And even your DEI hire, who you have as the head of the community relation. Are you going to denounce her party for upholding all this bad stuff that's coming down with the people? You're not going to do that. Well, you're part of the problem. So we got to start thinking in terms of logic. We got to speak in the same terms, Brother Wallace, that they are speaking on television, the Trump administration, the Jeff Landry administration, the Liz Morrell. We got to speak the same way. If we're not speaking the same way, well, we just going to be the sheep, going to be led to the slaughter.
Correct.
They call that go along to get along, Brother Jay.
Yes.
We not going along to get along.
And we don't need to go along to get along attitude right now, because you know where that go along, get along attitude gonna get us back to Jim Crow, slavery, the 1870s.
Going along.
But there are some who watching us now and said we should not be criticizing Trump or the administration or Jeff Landry. We should be criticizing Biden. Well, I got news for you. Biden not in office no more. Even though if he have a program from the 80s and the 90s where he pushed the crime bill, that does not apply. I'm talking about in the real time, the stuff that gonna affect us now, brother.
That's what I'm saying.
Right now, the stuff that our children gonna have to deal with. This is the stuff. And that's where the distraction comes, because they got people want to talk about something that happened 30, 40 years ago. In that sense, politically, when you have much more horrendous policies all being put in your face and telling you accept it.
That's what I'm saying, Brother Jay. You got a man, they talk about what a man did 40, 50 years ago, and you got a president right now that's saying
it went on yesterday, and it's going on today, and it's going to go on tomorrow. And tomorrow is our future. You know, what didn't happen in the past, you know, a lot of things didn't happen in our past. We just got to make sure that our past don't repeat itself, because that's where it's going, repeating itself.
And
go ahead, Brother Keith. Go ahead, Brother Keith.
They cry about what a man did 40, 50 years ago as a senator, not a president, as a senator. He voted for the 99 crime bill. Well, he voted for it. But you got a president right now that's telling every white supremacist it's okay to show it. It's okay to bring it out. It's okay. You got a president that went let I don't know how many rioters, pardon them all. We pardoning them all that try to take over the nation's capital, and you don't hear these same people talking. You don't hear them talk about that. To me, it made me think they're rolling with the mega crowd. They like what they do. They like what they doing to us. Look like Brother Jay is getting too heated. We having a little bit of technical difficulties. Look like every time we get heated, some get off track.
And the people just need to know, even if those who want to talk about Project 2025 from this area, they just need to know that the architects and the originator of Project 2025 was a UL alumni graduate. I repeated his name so much that I forget his name. I usually have it on my notes. But he graduated from the Lafayette High School. He went on to UL. Now he's the top architect which a bunch of them are the top architects of Project 2025. Right. And this is the plan they're implementing with Elon Musk. who Brother Keith and I talked about on the show 3-4 years ago on the People's Tech Show.
Entertainment show, yeah.
A smart individual, as much as being in the right place at the right time with his investment of money. His money he inherited from the pillage of the land in South Africa, where his father was a person who owned mines. So people get the wrong impression. I hear black folks say, he's so smart, he's a genius. Matter of fact, that Cybertruck, Brother Wallace, and I know you into trucks, that I don't think that's something you would be driving if they gave it to you.
Oh no.
Or a garbage truck.
But
have an automatic arm to come out of it and pick up the garbage and dump it in the back, and it'd be all right. And it's not, we could, we denigrate and we clowning and we saying some negative stuff, but all this stuff that people are going through is some real stuff, some bad stuff. When you can't pick up the phone and call into the Medicaid, Medicare office, or you can't call a regional office of Social Security for people in a certain age group, that's very troubling. That's very hard to do. And people have no compassion. Those who are living their life up there in Youngsville, making some good salaries, building some nice houses, they don't realize how all that going to have a residual or domino effect on their future finance.
Brother Jay, they try to hurt one side so much. They try to hurt the poor people so much.
Yes.
Where
why do you think that is, man? Y'all tell me why these people have so much disdain for poor people or people who have some or people of color. Why do you think they have some? What drives them to be like that?
Like that, correct. Hey, and I'm gonna say this:
the poor people money is the money that's keeping them in their business. The poor people go to the grocery stores. The poor people is struggling to try to buy clothes, groceries, and things like this here. The rich people not buying all the stuff that the poor people is buying, So cut out welfare, cut out food stamp, and see where you're gonna go, because the rich people won't be able to make no more money.
Right.
The poor people, well, everybody buy gas, not just rich and poor. Everybody buy gas, but you start cutting off the poor people money, guess what? You ain't gonna have the money that you used to have it. If you cut the middle class off, the rich is not gonna have the money that they used to have it, because it takes everybody to make the world go round.
And then, Brother Jay,
just separate the poor people or the middle class to stop the world from going round. And you're going to stop yourself from going around. You're going to stop yourself from being a part of Wall Street, and things like this here.
And then, Brother Jay,
that's where I'm at.
And when I say this, I'm talking about the leadership room. We're not fighting back, but a few of us. Maybe Jasmine Crockett should lead. The party. Maybe it's time for a change. Maybe Jasmine Crockett.
Jasmine is getting some criticism from so-called conscious black folks, and I'm much more conscious than anybody else, and I don't think the conscious black community have a clue ever of getting out of whatever, because they go too far into outer space to come back down to see some reality on the ground. And they get mad at you and stuff like that, and they take it personal. So,
and they come.
They actually think, I wouldn't get mad at black folks if they have a way of thinking, but if they put that into action, if I see a Clarence Thomas who's using his position to hurt us, or maybe some idiot that they have in the cabinet, like the lone brother who came down here a couple of years ago. Remember, he came to Lafayette, the lone person in the Trump administration who's now head of the HUD, Federal Department of Housing. He came down as an appointee of the Trump in the last administration, and to talk about opportunities on Monday. Let me get this phone call. I think we have a caller calling in.
Good morning, caller.
Brother Wallace. Hold on. Brother Wallace, I'm gonna put Brother Paul on the line. Hold on.
Whoa, man, good to get, man. I was about to
We can get them in together, Brother J, or no?
hear your voice, brother Wild.
Good morning, Brother Paul. Can you hear me?
To you, my
Paul
brother.
out of Lakeshore.
Good morning, Brother Paul.
Hot off the press. Man, they talking about building a $51 million judicial complex.
What?
$51 million in Lake Charles, Louisiana. And they're closing schools down. Hey, that's not a quality of life, a judicial center.
Well, that's coming.
$1 million prison and can't build a bridge to go across Lake Charles.
Oh, they can't build it now, because that's why that was fixing their Constitution amendment. They're going to mess with some schools around. Oh, they gone working like for Warners and that's not trying to pass it in the legislature. We're going to be down. We're going to go down the Baton Rouge, man. But they're trying to pass it in the legislature without the people.
So,
Brother Paul, look, if it's going to be done on a Saturday, I don't want no parts of it. If they're going to do it during the week where you could disturb something, let them know
All right,
what's going on.
Say that again. Yeah, holler at me, brother. Say that again.
I don't want to go down on a Saturday where nobody's there. I want to go down there during the week where we're going to disturb things. Let everybody know.
That's right. Ain't nobody around on the week, on the Saturday. That's right.
You know, they're at home looking at you and say, look at those stupid. Ain't nobody there, you know?
Right.
Man, I keep telling people, they better pay attention, man. We the smallest state in the whole South. We've been producing oil and gas for almost just about 200 years. We've been providing, keeping people from freezing to death up north and all fronts abroad. But now they want us to take care of the world.
Right.
But what's in it for us in Louisiana?
Brother Paul, I'd like to ask you a question, and maybe that might apply to Brother Wallace and even Brother Keith. We just know that Cleo Fields held a town hall meeting for that section of that super Negro district that the Congress gave us and the courts gave black folks in the state of Louisiana. But when we will have our town hall meeting with our 3rd congressional congressman named Clayford Higgins. When that gonna happen? Because I know Lake Charles is a very important district for Clay Higgins.
We can't get our 2 elections. Senators even call the town hall meeting. Even big clock file playing games, Kennedy, with a Harvard degree, talking like he a country buck and fooling the people. He don't even want to have one. And we got Johnson, don't leave him out. He running the country. He got the most 2 powerful senators and the Speaker of the House. And look how we suffering over here. And matter of fact, what they doing in packing our state, they constituent base. And nobody saying nothing like he said, a handful of people.
yeah. Brother Paul, what about Hunter and Simeon? What that race? What?
Oh yeah, I don't know which way the wind goes. I'm gonna tell you another problem we got. It just, hey, it is what it is. See? You know, when a runoff, don't you know you got to work more hard in the runoff than you just coming out the front?
Yeah.
That's why you need to get that race over quick, because some reason people, they even harder to come back and get them to vote again. I don't, maybe it's a little different time now with things was happening now. If they know like I know, and the key, I've been talking about this a couple of years, like Rallo and with Wallace and them, even when we was talking together, 80% voters project. We asking the people to come out 80%. They're not gonna do what we do. We're gonna go beyond 80%, beyond 100. But if we can get y'all 80% to participate in this thing called voting, I promise you we're gonna change something.
Oh yeah.
Ain't nowhere in the country got 80% voting block. Nowhere. And we already did a good term beating back the amendments. Now let's build on it. That's all I'm saying. I'm just throwing something out there, brother.
But you're saying the right thing, Brother Paul.
Yeah.
You got to build on your victories, man. These people don't think they ain't in the power. That's why all my vote don't matter. When they get a victory and they do nothing, boy, you done created a monster. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Mhm.
Correct.
They got to win
Well,
with
Brother
victory.
Paul.
Then
Brother Paul, this is why they're trying to kill our voting rights. And they're
Hey.
trying to kill our voting rights so we don't get that power that we need. We didn't
That's right.
create the voting rights.
Yeah, I brought up the SAVE Act that the Congress passed. I don't know if it went to the Senate yet. United States Senate, the SAVE Act going to make it more difficult for you to register to vote. You might have to have that with your so-called real ID. That's another ploy. I really don't get it. They say, well, you know, it's going to stop terrorism and so forth. We can know who's flying or traveling or going into federal buildings. But, you know, they already have those safeguards. So that's another ploy. And they connecting it to voting now. You basically going to have some type of gold star to vote. You're going to have to be designated that you might have to go get go to Clay Higgins' office and say, Clay Higgins, say, you're a good boy, so let him vote. I mean, that's where it's going. If we don't stop it where it's at in its tracks, this crazy so-called identification stuff, and they fool people, well, that's going to stop terrorism. There hasn't been any hijacking or terrorist threat used when people traveling lately in a long time. So why they putting all these safeguards in that going to just keep people home, and people say they don't want to participate, whether they're traveling or in the voting process, Brother Wise? I think that's just a ploy.
Yeah, Brother Jay, it's just like I said earlier. They use that as a tactic. That's not what they're trying to do. They're just trying to see how far they can go with it, because they think we're uneducated. We don't understand.
You know,
Go ahead, Brother Wallace.
right, well,
All right, we got a traffic jam right here. Anybody want? Go ahead, Brother Keith.
I heard Brother Wallace speaking, but
Keith is talking right now. Yeah, Keith is talking right now.
okay. Oh yeah. So like I said before, that's what they do. They put something else on the table, but that's not really what they want to do. They just see how far they can go with it. And if they can go far with it, they'll go further with it. All right, Brother Paul. All right, Brother Paul.
yeah, I can do
All right.
What's Keith at?
Yeah,
Okay, here's Keith.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
I'd say, Brother Paul, go ahead and make your statement.
you got to turn up the mic, Brother Jay.
Yeah, their turn. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Brother Paul.
Got to turn his mic up.
Go ahead, brother Paul. I was saying, I was just about finished with my statement. I was saying, Brother Paul, is that what they do is they throw something out there, put it on the table, and say that they doing it because it is, to see if they could get it passed. Then once they get it passed, it'd be something else for them to come back with, that because they know they can get it passed. Now they're gonna come back with something else. So that's the Republicans' game plan.
Brother Wallace, can you hear me? Brother Wallace, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I
Okay.
can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, Brother Paul.
We always critiquing the equipment in the background. My sound engineer probably asleep. Oh, that's right. I don't have sound. Go
So,
ahead.
Brother Paul, you can hear me, Brother Paul. Brother Paul, Brother Wallace, y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay,
Yeah, I
okay,
hear you.
yeah. So that's what I was saying. They put something on the table, make it look like fried chicken, but then they come back if they can get the fried chicken, if they can get you to eat the fried chicken, all
I
right.
can hear you.
All right, he ate the fried chicken. After they gonna come back with fried ribs, you know. That's what they do. That's the game plan to see how far they can go before they come back with what they really want to put out or what they really want to get past.
Yeah.
And I think Brother Paul wanted to make a statement.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, you know, I want to finish up about that $51 million courthouse, judicial center.
Really?
And which is unneeded. When they closed the school,
Mhm.
and we got bad highways, we need a bridge to finish and infrastructure.
Right.
And community dying right there in the same city, but they 51 million.
So,
That's not a part of the quality of life. I
so
don't
Brother
think.
Paul, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question because I really want to understand. I want to make sure I'm understanding it right. They gonna close the school down or pull 51 million from the school to put into the court system.
No, listen to what I'm saying. They closed the school down, elementary, and combined, but yet they need to be building schools.
Yeah. So what they gonna do with that? What they gonna do with that school money? The budget for the school? They that 51 million. Where it's coming from for the courthouse? My question was. Well, we got problems.
Administrations for egregious record of anti-Semitism or other bias. But like Jeff started talking about, there is a whole long list of other things that are totally and completely in the wheelhouse of conservatives that have nothing to do with anti-Semitism. Right, and I think Harvard is trying to use that transparency to show the public this isn't necessarily just an anti-Semitism issue as their task force says it is, but it is a much broader issue that's really trying to.
See, that's why I got to build something bigger because they need to make room for when they close the schoolhouse, the kids gonna be uneducated, so they're gonna educate them through the courthouse.
Wait, I couldn't hear. I couldn't hear where they pulling the $51 million from.
I guess it's gonna be downtown somewhere. Friday old. I ain't sure yet what the location, but they already said they
No.
been in the plan since before the hurricane and all that. You know.
No, I'm asking.
City code out. They got the city and what you call up top.
No, I'm asking where they getting the funding from. Where they pulling the funding from?
Hey, from the tax dollars.
Okay, from.
Guess what? Now that property dead. You can't generate no taxes on it. If the city owns, I mean the parent, if they own it, you can't generate no taxes on it because they own it.
Yeah, that's
They can't tax themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's Castle
So
Parish.
now they're putting less people on the tax roll, plus the ones getting exempt. There's a lot of them being exempt, and that's like them plants with that Intel tax. Here we get billions of dollars tax deferred when we need that to fix our state. What's in it for us, man? Another thing, we ought to be gathering royalty checks from the state of Louisiana. Not only on oil and gas, but the damage they doing our environment.
Right.
There's a lot of stuff on the table,
Right.
man, we ain't talking about.
Well, you
And
know,
we
those judges are in some cases, those federal judges are allowing some of those cases to proceed for environmental issues. But this administration has been tapping down. You know, we got a disaster of a person head of the EPA in Louisiana. She is, I don't know where they got this sister from. That's a sister.
Got it from Trump. You got it from Trump.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have to be real good to hold a person like that. And as a sister who wear dreadlocks, she wear dreadlocks, but push the ideology of Donald Trump and the mentality of the MAGA movement.
Correct.
And comes to be head of a organization or agency that have to basically they're at the forefront of guarding what could happen with your health if you have some kind of negative outcome, pollution, and so forth, the environment. So how they go get this sister and put her there where everybody hates her over there? Not because she's black, because she's a typical a-hole, you know. So this is
But
what
then,
the state has to deal with.
Got some other partners got a responsible for keeping this environment safe.
Yeah.
Wildlife and fishery is one of them.
Right.
The water resource.
Right.
They got numerous things supposed to be watching out public safety when it comes to the environment and that. And they ain't doing it.
Right.
That's where we come in as a citizenry. That's why we do what we do, Brother Wild, Brother Vilo, Brother Keith. They got some stuff going on. They coming in. We fighting for our life. What I'm saying now, death to the sportsman paradise. You're gonna be, because they are doing it. We don't stop.
And before, I got about 15 minutes. And I want to bring up this and give you guys some context of what this is about right here. This is coming up, and I hope we support this issue. Is a documentary concerning our good brother, Ronald Green. It's called Unpunished. Yeah, it's called Unpunished. The Ronald Green issue.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, look it up with the Ronald Green
with Brother Carl Cavalier. So I hope everybody get the information out. They're gonna be bringing out some information. We were supposed to have Miss Danielle Hardin on, that sister of Ronald Green, to talk about the situation that went on with her brother. And the title says so much. Unpunished. You know, nobody was really punished in the sense that the family know who really did what and how the cover up was so big all the way up to the Democratic governor. You know.
Now, Brother Jay, I want to I'm glad. I know we spoke about this earlier, but you remember the state troopers, the state troopers who came. He came on the show and he put a lot of things out there to break and it was during an election year.
Yeah,
and
we had somebody head of the Black Caucus also.
Yeah, we called out these different organizations. We called out these different organizations to support this man. Don't you think don't you think less support the support he didn't have could have caused some of this to happen? Could have caused these officers to go unpunished?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, the cover up is the unpunished issue. Paul Cavalier is on the flyer. If you look at the flyer I have on screen, he is on there. He's in the documentary, and he did name some people. He named a former head of the Black Caucus, Mr. Vincent Pierre, who's now an assistant to the mayor of Lafayette. And I would listen, would step forward and give his take on it as it relates to Mr. Carl Cavalier, calling him out, And the thing is, Vincent is probably a good brother.
The NAA,
the system of politics, be prepared to be called out on some of the things you don't do, And I hope nobody get mad. I hope you don't get mad about that. But Carl Cavalier is the one who called his name. And that's where the problem with lies between him and Carl Cavalier.
The NAACP, I posted on social media about we all need to stand together and get behind this brother. And then one of the NAACP members came on attack, in attack mode.
Yeah, the person that always attacks on behalf of whatever they are doing, I guess so.
So maybe maybe us not paying attention or us not supporting uh, may have led to these officers going unpunished. And then for these officers going unpunished, by them going unpunished, might be the reason why we're seeing a lot of police brutality in Louisiana.
And Brother Wallace, you're still there. I hope people take it the right way. Just because you're not a part of something, nothing went down on your watch, you have a right. You should be saying something if you are knowledgeable on the subject. Because we had an ex-head of the Louisiana State Police, the first African American from this area. He could have spoken out on that. If he stands for righteousness and justice, he could have spoken out on that because his expertise. He's retired. He should have spoke out. So it's not just Benson, who was at that time head of the Black Caucus, who was called out by Carl Cavalier. There's so many. Cleo Fields was at the run of the rallies. We don't know what he did behind the scene, if he supported Mr. Cavalier and the Green family. But we have to, all our elected officials who are there, who's doing that.
Brother Jay, this is
John Bell Edwards, who's a Democratic governor. They should all be called out besides the governor. You know?
And Brother Jay, I know Tom winded out, but I want to say this, Brother Wallace, Brother Jay, Brother Paul. I want to say this. It's becoming all too common in the state of Louisiana where these police departments and police forces have messed up, they've killed somebody, or if not killed somebody, hurt somebody bad under a white man's command, under the Caucasian command. And after that happened, they bring in a African American male, female, and say, you can have the job.
Right.
Run the department, quiet the black people, quiet the African American people down. And then after it get quiet and they think it is going away, it's not going to be talked about. People then forgot about it. They removed that black man in position and put a Caucasian right back in that position, and right back we're in the same place. The same thing happens over and over. It's just that now at the present time, none of our leaders are speaking up or speaking about it. Look, seems like to me we done lost the fight, and I'm talking about in our leadership room. We done lost the fight.
Yeah. We can't even get them to stand up to the Jeff Landry administration or the Trump administration. We can't get them to say anything about that.
The leadership is saying it ain't my problem because it ain't happening to me. You know.
Yep, that's right.
The leadership that we supposed to be voting for is sitting back, laughing at us because they getting their check, they getting their retirement, they getting everything that they want, you know. But hell with everybody else,
Right.
and everybody else is the one that put them there.
Well, I'm glad these.
Brother
Paul, I'm glad they're so
what
proud.
about this, Vilo and Keith? I want to share something else with y'all, Vilo, Keith, and
Yeah.
Wallace. Do you know how much money they've been stealing from the HBC?
A whole bunch.
Billions.
Yes.
And guess what? That's the latest data on the Democratic governor. too.
Yes. Yes.
They can give the patent up to the European college.
Well, look.
You know, hey man.
That is certainly a subject matter we're gonna have to talk about in the future, and I'm gonna wind it down because we got about
we got about 2 minutes.
Anything you want to say, Brother Paul? We're gonna have a holiday.
Hey,
We want to
man,
have
I
the
want to
community matters to hear you on Friday.
But we're going to do this another time.
Yes,
too.
sir.
I'm going to have to get with y'all on that, man, because we had some good time at that little short time.
And we live on television. That's the good thing. Even though we had to restart it.
Yeah,
but
man.
we live on TV.
Hey, appreciate you, Vilo. All I can tell you,
anytime you're a good brother, man. I appreciate you. And Brother Wallace, we hope to see you on the replay.
It's gonna be a rerun this Friday, but the following Friday we're gonna have a good show.
Definitely.
All right, now.
All
Hey,
right.
that's beautiful. Beautiful, y'all. Good to hear from you, Keith. Good to talk with you, brother.
Good to hear from you, brother Paul.
We
Brother
could
Wallace.
try to rope him in, Brother Wallace. We could try to rope him in.
Yeah, well, you know, I think Brother Keith gonna be all right. You
Yes.
know, he has to do what he has to do, but when it's time to come in, he come in.
Yes.
You know, so
I really
All right,
appreciate
now,
it.
that's
be
what
all
I'm
right.
talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Thank
Yeah.
y'all, brothers.
Thank you.
But Brother Keith. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm serious.
So we go wind it down, man. Check out that documentary, and hope we could have another enlightening conversation, like an open mic and stuff. But check us out on the Open Line
Correct.
Radio show tomorrow
And
at 9 o'clock on KIEE 88.3 FM and this very same station, AOC Community Media.
Before we close, I want to remind people: be vigilant. Y'all
Right.
continue to use your First Amendment rights. Don't let the statement the police department is making scare y'all. Continue to follow your First Amendment rights, but do it inside the law.
And document wrongdoing.
Document wrongdoing, and remember to at least stay quiet if you can, or stay away from talking about what's happening while you're videoing the incident, because they can switch the word and use it against what happened. They can use it against the way the case play out. So but thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're gonna do it again, Brother Jay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.